Happy Thursday, and welcome to the PHNX Sun Devils Show, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by Circle K. Head to any Circle K Arizona location where you can get any size Polar Pop or Froster for just 79 cents now through September 3rd. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Sun Devils and all, do us a solid. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. I'm Anthony Totri, joined as always by the one, the only zookeeper himself, Erik Ruby. We've got DJ Danielle behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. How you doing, Erik?
I'm doing fantastic.
You're doing fantastic.
I've never been better.
Dude, just
dap it up.
Yeah, I mean, that's
this
what
is going
we're
to be
doing.
a show.
That's what we're doing today.
Can we make an agreement today, Totri?
Let's make an agreement
today. We're going to be nice to each other.
I've been saying that for so long.
What does that entail?
That just, I think, if we're going to make fun of anybody, you know what? No, let's be good people. Let's not make fun of anybody.
You were going to say me, weren't you?
No, I was going to say
Absolutely not.
Shane, but I thought that was a little bit mean.
I mean, that's really mean. You're the last person that should make fun of Shane.
Yeah, it's true.
You and him
Wait,
still
why?
aren't cool.
No, we're over that.
Are we?
That's water under the bridge. He has like 8 other things he could be mad at before besides that.
That's fair. That's fair.
That was literally, I know it was months ago, but it was literally years ago.
That's fair. That's fair. We got bees in the chat. We got Gringo Billy. What's up, everybody?
Never mind. I gotta be mad. I gotta be mean to bees.
Bees gets it. I came here to declare Totri victorious.
You can't even say your own name. You know it's not real.
Totri. I'm victorious.
What does the poll look like? I'm sure you're winning.
Victorious. I am winning, but not by as much as I should be winning. But
Story of
I'm
your
not
life.
Shane, so I'm not going to dish it to my homies. You know,
56 to 43. That's a decent
That's
lead.
respectable. It's respectable.
I'd say that's an insurmountable lead. There's no way.
I don't know if it's insurmountable.
There's no way.
Okay, you need to stop.
I mean, I already retweeted it, which means like the 4 people that like me already voted for me. So I'd say it's over.
Ooh,
Congrats.
Things Shane could be mad at.
Oh, snake trap.
Ooh, I got one. 1-1 is the Pac-12 disbanding.
Yes. Number 2 is boring names in video games. Number 3. We'll have to save that for the snake draft.
That's fair.
I think he would probably win that snake draft.
I can give you something that he's going to be over the moon about.
Tell me.
Over the moon, Erik.
Yeah.
Bobby Hurley.
It's
in
true.
his recruiting efforts for the class of 2025.
He is Mr. Bobby Hurley. He always has been.
Yes. And he always will be. You know, that's the best part.
I'm going to be mean to my computer.
So we're going to get into Arizona State and Bobby Hurley's class of 2025 recruiting efforts. No, it's not too early to be looking at the class of 2025. Not in this day and age of college athletics. And I think if you're a Sun Devil fan, you are going to get excited. We're also going to talk about some big news as it relates to the Big 12 basketball tournament. It is the People's Tournament, as I have just dubbed it.
Wow, that's
and then
big.
At the tail end of the show, we're going to be giving some flowers to 24 current and former Sun Devils who are going to be representing their countries, not necessarily just the United States, overseas for the Olympics. So let's go ahead. Let's get started talking about Bobby Hurley and Arizona State basketball. I know we are all excited to see Jayden, Quaintance, and Joson Sanon, Amir Ali, BJ Freeman, and really this new Sun Devil roster here in 2024. I think it's going to be really, really exciting. And we talked about it just a couple of days ago, just about where Arizona State should finish, maybe what would be acceptable, what wouldn't be an acceptable season for the Sun Devils. Now, we did disagree in a little bit of a sense, but
I'd say in a pretty big sense.
I think one thing we can agree on,
yes,
Erik, is that if Arizona State finds immediate success in the Big 12, a lot of it has to be credited to Bobby Hurley's recruiting efforts, specifically in 2024 as it relates to high schoolers and what he was able to do in the transfer portal.
Yeah, you have to give him such a massive amount of credit already. Listen, you can't go and just crown him the greatest coach of all time. But
wait, I sent him a crown in the mail. Should I?
You already sent it?
Yeah. Shit. It's okay. I'll take it back. It's okay.
I think like it's kind of like what you said before, where you're like, oh, like I need to see success. I'm not gonna like crown it, and it's like you need to take things for how they are.
Yeah.
It's a massive win that after how last season ended, you are in a position where you have the recruiting class that you have.
Yeah.
And obviously it's going to mean a lot less if when the season starts, you're not doing that great and you're not living up to those expectations, but we're not living in that moment yet. And I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
Yeah.
So I think it's already a successful off season. And the fact that Bobby Hurley went out and said on the podcast with John Rothstein that their NIL is 5 to 6 times better. And you've seen that in the results. And not only, hey, you can have the NIL, but can you get the players?
Yeah.
Right. And you're not just getting good players. You're getting great players. You're getting best recruit in program history type players coming off one of the most disappointing and discombobulated seasons in program history, especially under Bobby Hurley. So if they do come in and they start winning, not only does that give extra credit to Bobby, but you also get more of a runway as far as donors and investors. And if it's 5 to 6 times better now, who's to say if they surprise in the Big 12, you can't even double that even more, you know? That's it's definitely possible.
Well, I think when we talk about college athletics in today's day and age, a lot of it has to do with, and I was talking with somebody about it the other day, where it feels like now because of NIL, you almost have to get lucky, right? If you're a school like Arizona State, you have to get lucky and have a really good season. You have to hit on a couple of players that maybe other people kind of skimmed over. You have to hit on them. You have to have a really, really strong season. And then from there, you can kind of blow up. But as it relates to Arizona State right now, you saw the recruiting success in 2024, and it's already starting to trickle down into 2025.
Yeah.
I do want to start with Koa Peat. Koa Peat,
please,
is the number 1 player in the state of Arizona. He is a top 10 player ranked nationally in the class of 2025. And we've been hearing for quite some time, even dating back to last season, that is PHNX Sun Devils as a whole has been hearing that Koa Peat in Arizona State is serious, that is seriously something that could come to fruition when, his commitment time does start to inch closer. He is, again, the number 1 player in the state of Arizona. It would be massive for in-state recruiting for Hurley to go out and get a player of this caliber. And this is a kid that you throw a pin on a map somewhere. He's got an offer from every major school out there.
I'll just really rapid fire. Let me list off every single school that Koa Peat has an offer from. Washington, USC, Texas Tech, Tennessee, Stanford, Pittsburgh, Ole Miss, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Mississippi State, Michigan State, LSU, Kansas State, Kansas, Indiana, Illinois, Florida, Butler, Alabama, UCLA, Kentucky, Duke, Baylor, Arizona State, Arizona, Michigan, Texas, North Carolina, and Houston.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Just those schools.
I count 7 Big 12 schools in there.
Exactly. And if you're looking at on 24/7, and you're talking about what they have under the warm category, that's Houston, North Carolina, Texas, Michigan, Arizona State, Baylor, Duke, Kentucky.
Ridiculous.
That is a murderer's row of basketball schools. Yeah. Duke, Kentucky, Baylor, Arizona, Michigan, North Carolina, Houston, and then sometimes Texas, right? Like Arizona State is among that.
Yeah.
Right? And from the moment
they're favored over some of those schools to land Koa.
Right. And B's with a good point. Joining the Big 12 should boost Bobby's chance to land Koa Peat.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because you're looking at somebody who's probably aiming to be a top 5 draft pick if you can have a good season in college.
His brother also plays for the Arizona State Sun Devils.
It's true.
Just saying. Football team. Just throwing that out there.
And
or he's a walk-on. One of the two.
Yeah. I mean, still there, though. And from the moment that Koa Peat stepped on a high school basketball court over at Perry, it was a moment. People knew who he was. People knew that by the time that this guy was a senior, he was going to have this amount of offers. This isn't a surprise.
Yeah.
This isn't like, whoa, where did Koa Peat come from? And so you have to imagine that Bobby Hurley has been putting that work in from the beginning, right? But now, like B said, you're in the Big 12. And if you're going into this season and you see Sanon and you see Quaintance, and they come in and they have really good seasons. Let's say Sanon ends up being a first-round pick, maybe a lottery guy if all goes well, and Quaintance is poised to come back for a second year. That's really enticing for somebody who wants to grow their career, somebody who wants to be a top 5 pick, somebody who might want to be who wants to be the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
And it's not out of the realm of possibility that if you go in and you kill it in college, that you'll be in that conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
And so you're sitting here and you're talking to yourself, and 6 months ago, you would have been like, Koa Peat to ASU would just be because of local ties, right? Like, that's kind of a long shot.
I don't care how you get him.
No. But now I'm saying there's so much more beyond that now.
Yeah.
There's more than just he's a local kid, so he would want to go to Tempe because his brother is on the football team and maybe because he spends a lot of time in Tempe. It's, hey, he might go to ASU to, like B say, test your skills in the best conference in college basketball. To be where multiple other 5-stars have gone and either gone on to be an NBA draft pick or have gone on to go into a second year, which means you would be playing with Jayden Quaintance in a second year.
Dude, that would be fucking crazy.
Like there's more to connect here than just local kid. And you have to appreciate that as a step, right? Like that's why we were so excited when all this happened, because it doesn't just pave the way for this year, but then if this year is successful, it paves the way for players like Koa Peat to look at Arizona State as an actual viable option to get better in your career at basketball.
I mean, Bees brings it up, right? Koa instantly elevates this team, into the contenders
without
discussion.
any team he goes to.
In the conversation for one of the best teams in the best basketball conference in the country. And again, you talk about what this would do if you're just able to have a solid season this year, if you're able to make noise in the Big 12 tournament, in the Big 12, just, conference play in general, and find yourself in the NCAA tournament, right? Let's play in La La Land, right? Because everybody knows that's where I love to be, other than Candyland, of course. So let's say you're an NCAA tournament team. Let's say for the first time under Bobby Hurley, Arizona State makes it to the round of 32. Okay, we're just going to stop there. Let's say that's it. Let's say something happens, they lose, round of 32. Okay,
yeah.
Let's say Jayden Quaintance returns for another year. Okay, Quaintance returns. That's your center. That's your go-to guy. Okay, Sanon. Let's say he bounces. He said he's a one and done. Let's take him at his word.
Which
he's
would
gone
actually
to the NBA.
maybe even be better for pitching a guy like Koa to be like, hey, you could be a one and done here.
So you've got Quaintance. Let's say you land a Koa Peat. That's your big man. Your 4 is Koa. Your 5 is Jayden Quaintance. Right? Potentially 2 lottery picks right there.
Bring me to La La Land.
La La Land is fucking lit.
I want a first class
over
ticket
here, dude.
you know what? I'd rather be in La La Land than Candyland.
Yeah.
If La La Land brings me Koa Peat and Jayden Quaintance, I'm setting up residence there.
But what if I told you that wasn't all?
Oh.
What if I told you there is more?
I'm listening.
Okay. We don't have an airline deal yet. Okay, that could be
to
you.
La La Land?
It could be we don't. You can't take planes there. You can only take the Fortnite bus to La La Land.
Oh gosh.
So buses just picked it up. I know, Max. We don't have an airline sponsor.
Dude, you know what's crazy is you said something that would probably be considered a free ad in the game that you just mentioned, and I feel like he had a sixth sense. Like he was there before you even said it.
Boom, he knew something was coming.
Yeah, he knew that something was going on.
On the bus to La La Land, right?
We
The
have
flying
a bus sponsor?
bus.
Okay.
The flying bus to La La Land. It's not just Koa Peat. It's not just a bunch of incoming transfers that are all chomping at the bit after Arizona State makes the round of 32 in the NCAA tournament.
Who else is it?
It's the one, the only 5-star power forward, 6'6", 200 pounds, Tounde Yessoufou. 6'6", 200 pounds, another power forward who over his career in high school, mind you, still has another year, is averaging 29 points a game, 11 boards, nearly 3 steals, nearly 2 blocks, and 2 assists.
And don't get it twisted with power forward. You said 6'5". Some places have him at 6'6". Koa 6'8". Quaintance is 6'11", and probably will be 7 foot.
Tounde probably projects to be a small forward.
Right. And so you're talking, listen, man, if you're getting Tounde, Koa, and Jayden.
Oh, you combine his name on.
Yeah, Jayden's actually kind of goes crazy.
That's his name in La La Land.
Quaintance, Jayden, Peat, Koa. See, Koa Peat goes so much harder than
Dreaming is free, Totri. It absolutely is.
Okay, but Bees, listen. We're so much closer to La La Land than we were a year ago that it's actually not crazy. Because if I told you 6 months ago, if I sat everybody in this room down and in the chat, which make sure you leave a like, I sit you all down and I say, Arizona State University will not only get their highest rated recruit in program history coming off of last season, they're going to get another one of the best recruits in program history, along with one of the best transfer classes as well.
Yeah.
If I told you all of that, you want to know what everybody would call me?
Crazy.
The mayor of La La Land.
The mayor of La La Land.
Okay? But as the mayor of La La Land now, and everybody's moving in.
Are you claiming this? Are you claiming to be the mayor of La La Land?
I am.
Wow.
I am.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Yes.
No election or anything. There's no democracy in La La Land.
Sorry.
Who
Nobody
would've
else.
known?
Nobody else.
There's not really a democracy here at PHNX either. 'cause
Yeah, no, that's
I
fair.
think Derek just
claims to be mayor. Well, hey, the mayor of La La Land, you can, that's a bigger selling point, I think.
Yeah. I should be calling these guys.
Yeah.
Hey, come on into La La Land. Yeah. I think it's going to get to the point though where it's not even really like La La Land. Right? Well, no, I'm serious. Koa Peat coming to ASU is not as long of a shot as people would like to think it is.
I think you have a better chance of landing Koa than
because he's a local guy.
No, I don't even think that. It's just the ties already and the conversations that I've heard. Like it,
no, but
it's legit.
But I think the ties and I think the legitness comes from the fact that he is born and raised in Arizona.
I think
I don't know if he's born,
State
but
has
he's
a
raised
better
in
chance.
Arizona.
Arizona State has a better chance to land Koa Peat than Arizona does.
Yeah, you would think so. Also, listen, there is value, and I think that this kind of gets lost in a lot of things. There's value to coming to a program that has not had a deep history of success and being the ones that put them on the map. Especially if you can get the NIL situation right, especially if you can have other great players to play along with, so you're not just a lone savior. Like if Koa Peat came here last season, obviously it'd be a different season, but there would be so much pressure on him. You come in now and you've got Jayden Quaintance, who's probably going to be your best player. A second-year, 5-star guy like that is probably going to be your best player when you're looking at that. And Koa competing for that too. Again, you're looking at 2 lottery picks. Maybe a top 5.
I mean, I don't think Arizona State's ever had that.
No, the highest draft pick they ever had was James Harden.
But imagine 2 lottery picks.
Yeah, that would be nuts. That would be crazy. that would be La La Land.
That's La La Land,
okay,
right? That's what we're talking about here.
But again, B's talking about Bobby has that type of pull. Everybody agrees that the Big 12 has that type of pull. If you go in and you have a good season under your La La Land circumstances, which again is almost disrespectful at this point to say making the round of 32, there might be a majority of teams from the Big 12 who make the tournament, and a majority of those teams are probably going to make it past that first round.
Oh, yeah.
And so ASU can be one of those teams.
I'm just saying round of 32 because they've never made it that
No,
far.
I know. I get it. But, and they've also, I would say they never got somebody like Koa Peat, but they have had very good players
James
before.
Harden was pretty good.
Yeah, James Harden. And yet, Jayden Quaintance, you haven't seen him play yet. The same way you haven't seen Koa Peat play in college either. I'm just saying, like,
and that's without even talking about potential transfers. If this team made the round of 32, they're able to start throwing around money now because the NIL circumstances have changed. They've seen that young freshman 5-stars can come here and play immediately and succeed.
And that Bobby Hurley knows how to use them.
And you're telling me that Bobby Hurley is the head coach who is going to say, hey, you know what? We're going to adapt to you. You want to play free? You want to play fast? You want to run up and down the gym? Hey, this is where you do it. And you do it in a place in Tempe that is nicer than any Big 12 city that you currently have. And you're going to get to play in the best basketball conference in college.
Right. And don't undersell. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Tempe.
It's where can I sign? Where am I signing? Where am I signing?
Right. That's a big selling point because it's not only selling on Tempe. You're like 15 to 20 minutes away from a very vastly diverse group of cities. Right? Whether you want to go to Scottsdale, whether you want to go to Phoenix, whether you want to go to Mesa, there's Glendale, Chandler, Gilbert. You're in a very central location, especially for somebody like Koa Peat. Right? You're not that far from home. And it's not just you're staying in state. You go to Tucson, you're hours technically away from home despite staying in Arizona. And I'm not going to get on the shitting on Tucson train right now, although that is just as fun as the bus to La La Land. But you're crazy if you would rather live in Tucson than Tempe. And I know everybody lives in Tucson's going to get on me on that because they already live there and it's like Stockholm syndrome or something. But objectively, if you polled every single Big 12 athlete who comes to ASU and comes to Arizona on the road games, and you say, if you had to choose, which city would you play in? They would all say Tempe. They absolutely, without a doubt, would all say Tempe. And if the basketball success comes with that, if the documentary success comes, because who's to say year one of the documentary goes great, Bobby Hurley's team goes great, it increases NIL, and they say, let's run it back for year 2. Yeah. Right? Here's more money to play with, higher production quality, and now maybe Joson Sanon's draft stock improves because they're seeing this guy put in so much work behind the scenes and seeing this guy be a great teammate. Yeah. Right? And you're not only hearing it from coaches firsthand, but you're seeing it. And let's also not get it twisted. That's pressure. Cameras on, documentary on, that's more pressure than just going and playing college basketball.
Yeah.
So if you prove that you can succeed in that environment, it's great for the player. It's great for the team. It's great for the NIL. And why wouldn't they want to do a year 2?
Yeah, no, you're right. And you know what? I think I've decided if that you and I ever went to couples therapy, that they would get really upset at us because we feed each other's delusions here. We're just immediately. I know it's kind of a tangent, but like, just listening to us go back and forth for 15 minutes, they'd be like, "You guys need to separate. You guys feed each other's delusions too much."
You know, man, you could have given me 1,000 guesses on where you were going after I made that statement.
Yeah.
And I would not have guessed that.
What do you think, Danielle? If you were a therapist, our couples therapist here, what would you think?
Just judging on today or like recent past?
Ooh. Let's go recent past.
Recent past, you guys kind of go at it a lot. The number of times I've had to be like, hey guys, we need to be nice to each other.
Yeah.
But we never like leave. There's never tension here.
No, I've never left.
I hope people understand that. The lights never go off and the camera turns off and we turn to each other like, hey man, fuck you. You know, like that doesn't happen, right?
No, just go to the bathroom right after the show. And
Danielle,
be like, yeah.
stop.
Are you
Danielle,
sure?
stop.
We
Stop.
really are in La La Land, huh?
Really?
There's no actual animosity.
I have
here.
no animosity.
There's no actual animosity.
We got drinks yesterday.
Yeah, dude, but Totri and I are cool. And Shane, we're all cool, guys. There's the only reason why we can give each other shit is because the fact that like we like each other. Like that's the only reason.
I like you, just not as much as I like Four Peaks.
Oh,
I mean
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's not La La Land.
You
can walk down and get Four Peaks in real life right now, baby. It takes you to La La Land.
A peach ale or a wow wheat, some of them chicken tendies from the brewery, man. Then
I will
I'm
say,
all set.
we went out to a PHNX event, and unfortunately, they did not have the Four Peaks there, and I was very disappointed.
Yeah,
I was drinking
Four
a beer.
Peaks would have been the only way to make it better, to be honest with you.
I was drinking a beer, and literally every sip I took, I wish that it was a wow wheat.
Yeah, you just like spit it out
to the point where it's like I know I'm probably gonna have some beer this weekend, and I'm going on.
It's gonna be
wow going on vacation next week. I'm stocking up on Four Peaks.
That's
man.
fair. That's fair.
There's absolutely nothing that compares to Four Peaks.
You got to be on the lookout, though, for their Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Ale. It's a collab between Four Peaks and Bad Birdie. Super drinkable and the perfect companion at the tee box or in your
Have
fridge.
you had the Bad Birdie yet?
The Bad Birdie?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
I have. It's good.
Out of 10?
It's good. Ooh. Well, the problem, it's like you got to grade it on a scale.
Okay, give me one word to describe it.
Drinkable. No, I'm kidding. I hate the way that we describe that. Say it's super drinkable. Satisfying.
Ooh, okay.
That's one that you crack open and you're like, that was the right choice.
That's the right choice.
That was the
well,
right
I'm going
choice.
golfing this weekend, so I'm gonna have to stop, grab some of those.
Perfect for
make
golfing.
Sure that I'm staying refreshed out there on the links. Guys, visit 4peaks.com/locator to find all your favorite beers and events. Check out at 4 Peaks Brew, at 4 Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. You must be 21 or older to drink 4 Peaks, and please enjoy responsibly.
I have news nobody's ever heard before.
Okay, wait. I'm listening.
This is, I mean, if you listen to every single
breaking?
show, this is going to shock you.
This is breaking news.
This is going to rock your world.
Okay, let me pull up Twitter so I can tweet
No,
this.
you don't have to. Listen, this is for us only, okay?
It's for us only.
It's for us only.
For friends of the program.
I love our friends over at Desert Financial Credit Union. And I've never said this before, but my entire family has used Desert Financial Credit Union. This is the first time I've ever said any of this, okay? And I'm being completely earnest right now. I'm not lying at all. But I am being serious when I'm talking about Desert Financial Credit Union being around for, I'm going to say 85 nice round years now, helping out everybody in the Valley and helping out you with your financial problems because they've been helping out my family for literal generations, talking my grandmother, my parents, myself, my sister, all of us. Only place I've ever held my money. And my only regret with that is the fact that I can't get this new deal that they're offering everybody where you join online and open up a free checking account and they just give you $200.
Free money.
That's so insane. Imagine going anywhere and being like, hey, do you want to sign up for something for free? Absolutely. What do I get out of it? And it's not a t-shirt. It's not a hat. It's $200 for free.
I could use $200 for free.
right in your account. Listen, not only they give you $200, they can help you with all your basics, your checkings, and your savings accounts, but also mortgages, loans, credit card options, investments, and more. Plus, if you want to spend your money repping maroon and gold like this nice PHNX t-shirt here, you can do that with 3 different Arizona State University Visa debit cards. They also have got Cardinals ones and ones just at the desert if you want to be a little bit more basic. And also you can have the Erik Ruby special, which you lose your debit cards, you can get a new one with a different design.
You should probably change that, you know?
You know, I'm going to be honest. So ever since I started saying that, I haven't lost it. I haven't. Yeah, you know what? If there's any place to lose, it's going to be when I'm off next week. So listen, now's your time to show your ASU team spirit and do it by getting $200 for free. Just open a free checking account online, get your $200 plus your choice of 3 different Arizona State University Visa debit cards. Go to desertfinancial.com/what/ASU to get started. You like that?
Wow.
You like that?
I mean, that was spicy, man.
A little spicy.
Love that. Love that. Guys, do us a solid. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review if you've made it to this point and haven't already. Get on it. Come on now.
You know what? It's so hard because it's like, you know, I love everybody who's in here watching. I truly appreciate people who tune into the show. But it always shocks me how few people hit the like button.
It blows
and
my
to
mind.
be honest with you, it hurts my feelings a little bit.
It's fair. It's fair.
You know, that's why we need to go
We
to
can
couples
discuss
therapy.
it at our next therapy session.
This is our trauma bonding.
Yeah,
People not hitting the like button.
Man?
Yeah, it's people not hitting the like button, man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
I mean, I think the therapist would probably say, you know, you just need to be.
I think the therapist would have a lot more to say.
You're right.
I think
this would
the
be
therapist
a
is like, I need to bring in a
session.
second therapist.
Yeah, we need a longer session than this.
Like that tweet where somebody's like, I asked my therapist who their therapist was, and I asked that therapist who their therapist was, and I'm just working
List
up the
goes
chain.
on and
We
on.
need the number one therapist. We
Number
need the
one.
therapist.
Okay. Therapist, you can sponsor us if you'd like. That'd be awesome.
On the Sun Show, we actually do have something like that.
Wow.
But, yeah, no free ads.
Also,
if we're not sponsoring this show.
Head to gophnx.com, click the little Die Hard tab. It's going to tell you everything that you unlock when you become a PHNX Die Hard, and that list goes on, including access to the Die Hard Discord. You guys are going to get exclusive Die Hard only content. You're going to get a Die Hard membership card, discounts on all events, a free t-shirt of your choice from the locker every single year.
Get that taco truck one.
The taco truck is fire.
It's my favorite shirt that we've ever put out, and that is a very high bar.
And even if you don't like it, we got plenty of options in the
Got
PHNX
tanks
locker.
now?
So again, head to gophnx.com, click the Die Hard tab. For one annual price, you are going to unlock all of that. It is the best place to be if you are a sports fan, point blank, period. Erik, we've talked a lot about Arizona State basketball today.
Yes.
We're going to continue talking about Arizona State basketball.
Oh, sweet.
But as a whole, in the Big 12, because the Big 12 is doing it right when it comes to the Big 12 basketball tournament. John Rothstein tweeting this out this morning saying, sources, the Big 12 and SEC will both have all 16 of their teams participate in their respective conference tournaments in 2025. This is different from the ACC and Big Ten, who will both only have 15 of their 18 teams eligible for their respective conference tournaments. Erik, I can tell this is already a hot button topic for you.
You know, until you passed this along to me today, I had no clue that this was how they were doing it.
Really?
How stupid is that?
From the ACC you're talking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How stupid is that? Hey, come be a part of our conference, but not a conference tournament. We're going to have an odd number of teams. What are you doing? What are you doing?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
It shocks me how many choices in everyday life seem so simple to me. Yeah. So many people don't make the right choice.
This feels like from the ACC and Big Ten's perspective, I want to hear why you wouldn't.
Right. Extra revenue for those schools, an even number of teams. Ugh.
I don't get it. And I guess if you're the Big 12, right? Like, this event is going to be the biggest. Outside of the NCAA tournament, the Big 12 basketball tournament is going to be the biggest basketball tournament in college athletics, like hands down, right? Because it in all honesty, is going to be more fun than the first round of the NCAA tournament. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you are going to have 16 teams, 10 of which probably going to be competing for an NCAA tournament spot.
Yeah.
8 of those teams probably already guaranteed a spot in that mine. So you're talking about teams like Kansas, Houston, Baylor, Iowa State, Arizona, going back and forth with each other in this conference tournament ahead of the NCAA tournament?
Right.
Are you kidding me? The winner of the Big 12 basketball tournament, I mean, that is going to be a statement in and of itself.
Yeah.
That team every year, and seriously, I mean this, the team that wins the Big 12 basketball tournament every year should be the favorite to win the NCAA tournament. Because you would have had to at least gone through 2 NCAA tournament teams to get to that point. At least.
Minimum.
And that's not even, it's not like we're talking about 7, 8 seeds. We're talking about a conference that could very well have 1s, 2s, and 3s across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense for the Big 12 to do this. It doesn't make sense for other conferences not to do it. And you just got me so hyped for Big 12 basketball. You just got me so hyped. I mean, I know they're all good, but come on.
These are great teams. These are great teams.
Yeah.
A tournament setting where it's 3 or 4 days of just Big 12 basketball. Mm-hmm. Now, I wish it was in Vegas. I do say that. I wish it was at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas because that's an elite place. The Pac-12 tournament they did it right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I know you got to go to Kansas for this one or Kansas City, wherever it's going to be, which is, it is what it is.
Can't win them all, BDY.
But Big 12 basketball tournament, dude, it's going to feed everybody's fix for high-level college basketball. And let's be serious. You look at the SEC, ACC, and Big Ten, none of those tournaments even sniff what the Big 12 has going on.
No, it's not even close. Completely different level. Completely different level with the Big 12. Oh, it's exciting.
Tony in the chat, Cats winning both Big 12 football and B-ball championships this year. Have Shane book it for me.
I would say you can do it yourself, but yeah, there's probably no internet down there.
It's just not going to happen, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I have to talk. I find myself starting to have to talk to Arizona fans like they're Colorado fans, where it's just like, hey, man, I know you want to think that you're that good, but you're not.
They've had one good year.
I know.
One good year.
Talk about La La Land.
They forget that 2 years ago, they were the worst college football program in the entire country.
Talk about La La Land. That's where they're living.
They're not winning both, buddy.
That's where they're living.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know, if you'll ever see a program in the Big 12 as it stands right now win both. Now, Kansas is going to be the favorite. Kansas is going to be the favorite this year.
Out of all the teams, Kansas is more likely to do that than Arizona.
But right now, Kansas is the favorite to win the basketball side of things. Utah's the favorite to win the football side.
Yeah, but Kansas is up there.
They are.
Utah has the biggest discrepancy.
Of top-tier teams?
No, Utah's going to be really good at football. They're going to be really bad.
They're going to be
basketball.
awful at basketball.
They might be the worst team in the conference.
Or Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is going to have a good football team. They're going to have a shitty basketball team.
Yeah, it's true.
It's so strange. It's so damn strange. But hey, it's Big 12, baby. It's a Big 12. You should thank yourself and thank Big Daddy Yormark for welcoming Arizona State, Arizona, Colorado, and Utah into this just supreme conference.
For just doing the right thing.
It is the right thing.
It's so easy to do the right thing. He does it.
Are you talking just in life?
No.
Does Brett Yormark always do the right
Sometimes
thing?
it's not easy to do the right thing.
Yeah?
In real life.
Give me a time recently where you found yourself struggling to do the right thing.
I don't know about that. Nothing comes to mind. I always do the right thing, and I do it quite easily. Thank you very much. Yes, I do it quite easily. Thank you.
I set you up there.
You did. You set me up to look like a bad person. And that's the first time that we've broken our nice little bond that we've had going on.
I didn't do anything. That wasn't.
It's okay. I will be the bigger person. I will forgive you, and I will move on.
Was that a short joke?
No, it wasn't. But you just made it one. So
it is what it is. Tony Clifton. It is a new era. I mean, yeah. No free ads, but
sure,
yeah,
man.
it's a new era. I give you that.
It is a new era because their coach left.
That's fair.
They're one good coach left.
Chedfish said, bye-bye. We'll see you later. It's tough. I can't wait for Tommy Lloyd to leave for the Gonzaga job in a couple years when that comes open.
Oh, man, that'd be fantastic.
That's going to be so awesome. It's going to be so awesome. What do you think happens first? Arizona State football surpasses Arizona football or the basketball side of things?
Yeah, football.
Football? Yeah.
Football. There's just more of
if our La La Land comes to life.
Well, that's on. There's more history with Arizona basketball than there's Arizona football, so I think it's easier to imagine in the future Arizona basketball being okay. Arizona football, congratulations on your one season. If there's anything we've seen in all of college football is that one good season means that you will be a dynasty.
Parody! Look at TCU. They were in a national championship 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They
And they
didn't
were
make
great.
a bowl game last year.
They have not dropped off at all.
They went from a national champion to not making a bowl game.
Yeah, man. I mean, and no, you're kidding, right? They made a national championship, then they went on and then made another national championship the next year.
And they
Because
got
that's always what
bullied.
happens. You always repeat success, no matter what, especially when you change your coach. There's nothing that can go wrong at all, ever. Book it. Put it in. Undefeated season in both sports.
Wow. Keon Anthony, just the number 27 overall recruit, the son of Carmelo Anthony, just dropped his top 6. Kyan, what'd I say?
Kyan,
there you go. Have you seen him?
No.
You
Is
wanna
ACU
guess?
in it?
You want to guess him? No, Arizona State is not it.
Oh, then I don't care.
Just guess.
Syracuse,
Yep.
Duke,
Nope.
North Carolina,
Nope.
Rutgers,
Yep.
Texas,
Nope.
USC,
Yep. You got 3 more.
Michigan,
Nope, but you're on the right
North
track.
Carolina State,
No.
Michigan State,
Nope.
Ohio State.
Yep. 2 more. One's a state and one's not.
Big school, like good
These are
basketball
both
schools?
big schools. No, neither one of them is good at basketball.
Florida State?
Yes.
Dang!
And then one more.
And one more?
An SEC school. Not good at basketball either.
Oh, an SEC school not good at
Not really good at basketball.
Georgia?
No.
Bama's good. Texas?
Nope. I love guessing games.
Oklahoma?
No.
I'm not listing off the entire SEC.
Auburn.
Interesting.
Yeah. Any guesses?
As to where he goes?
Yeah.
Rutgers.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to see him in Syracuse. I want to see him do what his dad did.
Syracuse.
Let it
Every player that besides Carmelo Anthony that went to Syracuse flames out in the NBA.
That's fair. That is totally fair.
So I don't want to see him go there.
Share it in the chat. Every time that U of A has a good football team, fans start to think it's a new dynasty. And every time reality comes back to bite you guys and you return at the bottom. LOL. I love that. I love the way
Get him, Sharon.
I love the way she typed that out. That was like a very author-esque version
Fire
of just
me up,
saying you
Sharon.
guys are going to suck again.
Every time they're good at football, so like all 3 times.
Yeah, all 3 times. And have you noticed that those are separated by 30 years?
No. When you guys, you don't get it. When you have one good season,
You're destined.
it never goes wrong
You're right.
afterwards.
You're right. It's never
Yeah,
happened.
Todd Graham won 10 games. Look where we're at.
No, we don't talk about Todd Graham. We don't talk about Todd Graham on this program. Ball security, right? Ball security. That was Todd Graham's thing. You want to talk about the Olympics for a little bit?
Sure.
Because Arizona State is well represented with 24 Olympians, former and current Arizona State Sun Devils on their way to Paris for the Olympic Games. Arizona State, man, let's just to name a couple of these just phenomenal players, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is well represented, women's and men's here. Obviously, you got John Rahm, right? Men's golf, going to be representing Spain. Leon Marchand, men's swimming, the greatest swimmer in the world, hands down. Men's swimming for France. It's going to be tough for the United States. Lou Dort, men's basketball,
Yes,
going to be representing Canada. You have other swimmers. You've got golfers. You have water polo, women's soccer. The list goes on and on for Arizona State alums and current ASU athletes.
And this is where you see their investment in the non-major sports. And obviously you mentioned a Lou Dort and whatnot, but you see that their investment in these Olympic sports pay off. Because a lot of times they kind of get made fun of for that. But then you realize hey, these are really incredible athletes and they're coming to Arizona State University to hone their skills. And now they're competing for their countries on the highest level. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's really important. And, you talk to some of these athletes that aren't in the major sports and, you kind of forget, not intentionally, but just how much time and energy and effort goes into being so good at their craft. Right. And even for people not named like John Rahm, who is a massive name, but like you mentioned, some of the smaller sports as well, in their world, they are the stars and they went to Arizona State University. That's important.
Yeah. They're legends. They are legends. And each one of them, again, there's not a greater honor than being able to represent your country in the Olympics, and especially in the Olympic Games in Paris that is set up to be such a massive, massive ordeal.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, it's massive congratulations to all of the athletes, just period, that are going to be representing their nations out there.
Except for Joel Embiid. I'm just kidding. I'm not on that trade. I think it's cool Joel is playing for Team USA. I think some people are taking it a little too far.
This is also going to be a massive selling point for the university and the athletic program, and in Graham Orsini being able to again push the agenda that Arizona State isn't just about the revenue sports, right? You talk about this athletic program is certainly going to try and make an effort to get football, basketball, and baseball back and above to what the bar should be for Arizona State, but it's also continuing the trend of the Sun Devils having one of the best Olympic sport programs in, not just the country, but in the world. The ASU swim and dive program is a nationally recognized powerhouse. You talk about the swimmers. We know what the men's golf program is like. Like, this is something that could, again, I know the Pac-12 was a conference of champions. Arizona State can be the leader in Big 12 Olympic sports.
Yeah.
Period.
And sometimes it's hard because some of that money and that investment, I think, has in the past harmed the money and investment into the major sports as well, because they just have so many sports to maintain and to, support and to pay for. But it's times like these that remind you that that's also still important. And I think people really need to understand that. And now that you understand that, and now that the university is now still putting in more time, energy, and money, especially on the NIL side, into the major sports, you're going to see an uptick in investment and funding into a school that already invests the most time, energy, and effort into Olympic sports, period. This should only get better as your major sports get better as well.
You're absolutely right. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I am absolutely pumped.
Bees, I don't know how big Big 12 Olympic sports are, but they just got bigger.
I mean, the Pac-12 was the best.
Yeah, the Pac-12 was bar none. I mean, you're taking 4 schools from there. But listen, if they're not big, they're about to be, Arizona State's about to run rampant through all of them.
Yeah.
So should be exciting times.
Share in the chat. I can't wait to spend the next several weeks totally immersed in the Olympics and all kinds of sports that I get totally sucked into every 4 years.
What sport are you guys most looking forward to?
Ooh.
I'm a basketball person, so that's the basic answer. But I love that the rest of the world has caught up to Team USA, and there's so many high level basketball players out there.
Team USA is going to slaughter them.
No. It's ignorant.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
Dude, it's going to be closer than people think. The rest of the world is really good, and they have way better chemistry. Also super excited. I think it's already started, but the 3x3 or 3-on-3, Jimmer Fredette representing Team USA. Jimmer Mania was alive and real in Phoenix, baby.
Former Suns legend Jimmer Fredette.
Absolutely Suns legend, and wasn't just signed to sell tickets to BYU fans. That's for sure. So, I mean, I'm a big basketball guy, but I love all the track and field.
Yeah, the track and field events are crazy. Swimming, I think, is ridiculous.
I'm a martial arts guy, so I love any of the martial arts stuff, the wrestling or the jiu-jitsu or anything like that. I heard fencing's on the take. I heard there's some big drama going on in the fencing world, so I wonder what that looks like this year. Also, water polo goes crazy.
Skateboarding, baby. You
gotta represent your man, Tony Hawk.
Skateboarding is going to go nuts.
We got a valley boy.
Rock climbing. I think rock climbing is in the Olympics this year. That shit goes hard.
Mesa legend Jagger Eaton in both park and street.
Dear Lord.
Yeah.
These, which campus are you guys looking to visit the most this year? Looking forward to visiting the most? Are you traveling for away games? Still in the works. But if I could travel to any of the Big 12 away games this season, there's not a lot of amazing away games that they got this season. I think they played Kansas State on the road.
They don't go to Iowa State, do they?
No, they don't go to Ames.
I would love to go to Ames.
We were literally talking about this right before we got on air.
Yeah. I mean, Ames would be elite in terms of like just the tailgating like side of things.
Don't want to go to Manhattan, Kansas.
You don't want to go to Manhattan?
No.
Kansas?
Oklahoma State, that would be cool.
Stillwater?
That might be dude, that might be the best. I don't want to go to Cincinnati.
No.
I don't want to go to Manhattan. I don't want to go to.
Give me Lubbock.
I mean, yeah, Lubbock.
Let's go visit our boy
just to see Jaylen. This is not a great road schedule. Tucson.
Yeah, no, that's a big blech. But
we should clip that. That should be a soundbite. Tucson. Blech.
On that note, guys, that is going to be the end of today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devil Show. Again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I know I tell you multiple times, but it's just like your parents told you growing up, eat your veggies so you can be big and strong. It's the same thing when you hit the like button. You're just fueling us. You're making us stronger. Okay, which makes
His
you
head
guys
gets
stronger.
slightly bigger
It
every time
doesn't.
you
It
hit the like
doesn't
button.
actually get bigger. I actually shrink. That's why I'm this size right now, because so many of you have hit the like button over the last couple of years. So I appreciate you. Give us a follow at PHNX _Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony _Totri. You could follow the Zookeeper here at Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K. And you could follow DJ Danielle at Abrica Danielle across social media. We will be back Friday, and so will Shane Deef, allegedly.
We're hoping.
Allegedly.
Shane Deef's had a busy week.
We're going to be talking shower beers.
A lot of fish to keep. Oh, are we?
Yeah.
That's big time.
Yeah, no,
big time
we got
tease right there.
Some stuff to discuss on a Friday fun day ahead of fall camp for Arizona State. So everybody have a beautiful rest of your Thursday. And as always, go Devils and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.